What a matchup!
And what a team, Mike. Metro PCS and the iPhone SE for $0 on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Oh, impressive.
Play with the best. Switch to Metro PCS on an unlimited LTE plan and get a 32-gig iPhone SE for $0. Metro PCS. Coverage not available in some areas, plus sales tax. Claim based on talk and text. Not valid for active numbers currently on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in the past 90 days. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and this is episode 1059 of No BS Job Search Advice Radio, and this is part of my series about changing careers. And this one is not going to be one that you expect. I'm going to make it go crazy. Crazy, I tell you, crazy. Hope you find this episode helpful. Please give it 5 stars on iTunes or Stitcher. It helps other people find the show. And if we aren't connected on LinkedIn, send a connection request to me at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. And now let's get going, okay? This one is a little atypical. So let me just start off with a story from myself and say, after a while, I started to realize how conditioned I had been to think in certain ways and do certain things. Like from the time I got into school as a little kid until the time I graduated, the system was conditioning me to think in certain ways and do certain things. So the classic example is you get brought to school as a kid and you're told to shut up, do what you're told, or else you won't get into a good college. And you get into the college and eventually you're told shut up, do what you're told, or else you won't get a good job. And the habit that I allowed myself to be conditioned by is, taking direction, doing what I'm told. What a surprise. I've been told since I was a little kid. And not thinking for myself in some ways about what would make me happy. I allowed myself to get pushed through the system. And I got a lot of good stuff out of it, I want to be clear. But, my heart's passion really hasn't been in the kind of work that I've done for so many years and what I've been conditioned to do. So as part of this exercise that eventually led me to coaching, I started to think, okay, let's go crazy. Tell me some unrealistic things I might try to do. And that's really what the homework assignment is going to be, is to be unrealistic and jot down a few things for yourself that in no way, shape, or form do you think you could possibly do. Now, this is part of a liberation process for you because, often the conditioning that you have that you've received causes you to think small and to think in certain self-limiting ways that once you start thinking about it, you might actually be able to do. It might take some practice. You're not going to be an expert the first time you do it. You might need to get training, but it's the sort of thing that maybe when you were little, you thought this could be a way that you could make a living, but discovered you weren't a good enough pitcher to pitch for the Yankees. So don't worry about whether it's realistic. Think wild. Go crazy. Write down the sort of things that if your friends heard about it, they might tease you about, but they're true for you. Remember, that's their stuff, not yours, and don't allow their opinions to rule your life right now. You're trying to figure out what is going to excite you in your life and bring you your passion in your career. And that's the most important thing right now. So maybe it's something that you did when you were little. I had a friend who decided he wanted to run a scuba business in the Bahamas, and he left his job and he ran off to run scuba. Maybe that's your thing. So whatever it is, just write down 3 of them. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, here are a few ways to engage with me. First of all, I just want to start by saying that I no longer do recruiting. I coach people to perform at a high level. So again, I no longer do recruiting. But if you visit my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us, and look at the tabs on the top, you'll see a menu of choices available to you. First of all, you can hire me to do a resume and or LinkedIn profile critique, interview preparation, help you with a salary negotiation, answer your questions about your job search, advise you about a decision you have to make about a job offer. Those are all there as an option. I can do a job search makeover with you, where we critique everything you've been doing in your search up until that point and come up with alternatives. If you're relatively early in your search, we can do a complete coaching program where I work with you from beginning to end in half-hour increments so it doesn't have to take a lot of time for each session. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. Mention that you listen to the show because I love hearing from folks who like it and are interested in my help. Again, linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. You can take my classes on Skillshare too and become a premium member for 99 cents for the first few months. I have a link in the show notes. Just follow that link, sign up, take my classes. Lastly, I want to mention to you, you can find a lot of information at thebiggamehunter.us, and at times it may seem like it's too much. So you can look at the best of my material at jobsearchcoachinghq.com, where I've curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read to help you find work more quickly. Again, that's jobsearchcoachinghq.com. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Take care.
What a matchup!
And what a team, Mike. Metro PCS and the iPhone SE for $0 on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Oh, impressive.
Play with the best. Switch to Metro PCS on an unlimited LTE plan and get a 32-gig iPhone SE for $0. Metro PCS. Coverage not available in some areas, plus sales tax. Claim based on talk and text. Not valid for active numbers currently on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in the past 90 days. See store for details and terms and conditions.
What a matchup! And what a team, Mike. Metro PCS and the iPhone SE for $0 on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Oh, impressive.
Play with the best. Switch to Metro PCS on an unlimited LTE plan and get a 32-gig iPhone SE for $0. Metro PCS. Coverage not available in some areas, plus sales tax. Claim based on talk and text. Not valid for active numbers currently on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in the past 90 days. See store for details and terms and conditions.